Welcome everybody to the second slash third episode of Roundscape Unscripted. This is Wild Quill from the Roundscape team. With me, I have two guests this time, so it's very exciting. Returning from his first episode last time is, as always, our longtime patron and good friend Mirza.
Hello.
And joining us for the first time today is one of our newest members of the creative team here. That would be Mr. Phoenix here, joining us for the first time.
Hey there, nice to see you.
Cool. Yeah, so really excited. We learned from the last time. I mean, primarily I learned, so hopefully this will go a little bit more smoothly than last time. We listened to the feedback and the comments on the forum, so we appreciate all you guys' feedback to make a better video, just so we can kind of show you guys some updates, talk about scenes that are in development, talk about little spotlights. And today we're going to start just kind of with a little miniature minor spotlight on Phoenix, since he is basically the newest addition to the team. The team, obviously, we have other writers, including Phoenix. We have tons of artists working, basically every day that we can, get them to work to produce things. So I just figured go kind of see what he'd been up to. So, firstly, have you been writing? Adult stuff for long, or is it pretty new to you?
Well, I actually, I kind of always liked the idea more of erotica than direct, like porn writing, and I only recently started after playing, actually, funny enough, a similar game, Corruptions of Champions. I read some of those scenes, and I was like, some of it could be really flat, some of it could be really forced and feel like a porno thing, but there was that odd scene that if you read it, you were like, wow, that was actually pretty, like, you felt something for both the characters involved, even the player character. So my first story I did on Hentai Foundry was based on the Minotaurs from that. And from then on, I basically just kind of started branching out until you guys contacted me and I started doing work for you guys.
Yeah, no, that takes me back. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mirza.
What? I didn't say anything.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. It's just funny because I think so many people experience that game at one. I don't think I'm butchering it. Is Finaxo or
Finaxo is how I always read it, but I never knew.
Because for the most part, I think he was doing all of that on his own, which was to me amazing. And now he's doing the Trials in Tainted Space and all that stuff. So I think it's just very cool.
Much better acronym.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet he made a conscious decision on that one over there. But like you said, there's a lot of cool stuff with that. So I enjoyed it. It's we're spoiled now by all the pictures we get to do through Roundscape. But so that's very cool.
Well, I think that's what makes it stronger, honestly, is you kind of sacrifice one thing for another because you get the pictures, you can't have as much variation, but on the flip side, you get much more of a visual idea of what's happening in the scene than you ever could with COC, where you kind of needed to have an element of like that imagination of I can picture this kind of ridiculous, over fantastical thing happening.
And that puts a lot of pressure on the writing too. Cool. So, how are you enjoying the experience? I mean, do you have a general count of how many scenes? I know some of your scenes are already in the game, but do you have a general idea the number of scenes that you've been working on so far with Roundscape?
Yeah, I popped up the 1.6 patch notes because that's where the vast majority of the ones that have been written and are actually within the game are. I know I might butcher this, Roxana, horse scene. I did, that was actually a previous patch. I did Roxana and the Nexilum gangbang.
Mm.
I did the Goblin Treant one, which was an interesting one to write. Never really did a Treant before, so that was kind of fun. I did the Minotaur and Saren blacksmith scene, and I'm currently working on about 2 or 3 scenes that haven't been put out yet, so I don't know exactly how much I can talk about.
No, I mean that's good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm very excited for when Nerza finally plays this game because I think he's been looking forward to many of these scenes, including maybe a couple that you just mentioned. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just holding on until it's an official release and no longer
Trust me,
in a beta.
I'm holding on every day for when we have an official there'll be streamers and confetti and some form of alcohol, I'm sure.
I mean, what the parts that I've played, I could tell, like, yeah, it's still definitely within beta, but you can feel the quality still within it. Like, you're like, okay, yeah, it will take some iterations, but, like, once this thing's done, it's going to be really a special thing, honestly.
Yeah. And one day we will have him here, but that's all 100% for the most part, except for some bugs, excessive bug extermination. That is all our great employer Leo. He works hard basically every month. Sometimes excessively to the point where it's like, okay, time to go sleep, rest now, recharge your batteries. But he's definitely dead.
And as a complete side note, he's like a super nice guy.
Super nice guy, but he works hard because I think like myself and basically the other people who work on this, we want to deliver on a good product. Primarily because we do know that there is a lot of good stuff out there. I mean, apart from just what people could look at and say, oh, okay, I could go buy a AAA game, especially right now we are headed into the storm right now. So the fact that people decide to support us and hopefully will one day decide to buy future games and that sort of thing, when they could look at other things. To me, that's just so much motivation. We can't just sit on our butts. We want to make something special, which kind of transfers into the next game. I don't have her picture. I meant to download her picture, and the picture I'm talking about. It's a placeholder. But let me pull it up. It's the one thing on my list that I was supposed to do, and I kind of forgot about it. Let's see here. The castle NPC poll that we did recently. There was 4 characters. There was Lorda, a Drider, Mazigar, a male creature from the Feral Lands. Basically, was going to be like a crocodile human. Alexia was a Lamia, and Nadessa is the experienced female Minotaur. And basically, when we started this poll, I had a feeling who was going to win, just from some of the talking that was going on the forums earlier. But then Nadessa is the winner, so we're going to be working. She'll be a new castle NPC, which I think will be really cool. And yeah, I think it's just funny because we've been doing a lot of Minotaur stuff lately, so I think that might be right up your alley, Phoenix.
I mean, it's kind of weird that I never would have thought that would have been something that I was very involved with, but honestly, I mean, it's a good example of how these types of games can randomly give you a king for something that you did not know you had, because I would never have thought that before I started playing COC, and after that, I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of a fascinating subject.
Damn Minotaurs be sexy, man.
I mean, it's true. Should be interesting to see where it goes.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will admit now that the polling is over, because it was really kind of last minute. Khalil was just like, hey, guess what? We're doing a poll. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we basically, scoured Google and we're like, oh, hey, look, here's some good reference stuff. I will admit that Mazdagar was my guy just because I wanted there to be a guy in there just to try to see, to see if anybody was interested in, kind of adding that to the castle. And I'm glad because I think I at least saw like 6 votes. So, that's a small victory for me.
You never know. Maybe in the future.
Maybe in the future, yeah, we'll see. Because I mean, and all of those characters, I think, were very interesting. They have tons of potential for what we want to do with them. I think just designing them alone is going to be very easy. So we'll have to get one of our talented artists to hammer away and come up with a good design. and hope that even if everybody doesn't, if it doesn't jive with everybody, that I hope people, for the most part, just still enjoy it. Even if it's not like the perfect look, that they do still enjoy it when we come up with things like that. So the next thing I just wanted to kind of focus on a little bit is actually the Mage Guild. So for you guys, I think it's the first picture. I just wanted to do a spotlight on this because basically the main storyline is done. I'm doing little additions to the epilogue, so little sort of victory speeches, which are the bane of my soul at the moment because it kind of seems weird with all the politics going on, at least for me. Kind of doing these like victory speeches, but like victory that where the character might warn of like, oh, I'm gonna be the guy who's down in the dirt and everything. And I was like, right as I'm writing this, it's like this is kind of weird, but I think there'll be a lot of nice variety for players to choose from.
We were actually talking about this earlier in a discussion. That it's kind of funny that it is quite difficult actually making a speech that doesn't feel like you're just saying either platitudes or just very difficult generic things to make it seem like it actually applies to that feeling in the moment of like this person is standing up and giving this standing like ovation worthy thing.
No, definitely kudos to all speech writers because I'm sure it is not an easy task to come up with something very original. So. The nice thing is, it's we're not just like gonna jam people into having their character always say the same thing. There will be some variety even in this little part. I will not say anything more of that because eventually we will be done, and I want you guys to experience as much of that for yourself as possible. But apart from doing the speech stuff, I've been working steadily on finishing up the Mage Guild. I'm about on the fourth quest out of a 5-quest thing. And for those of you guys who have not played through a recent game or even started out, I just wanted to kind of show off some of the Mage Guild characters because I think this was a welcome addition because I think having factions, and we have 3 at the moment. We were originally going to have 4, but we do have some constraints. But these character images right here, that's basically the first 4 are allied characters, and the last 2 are some enemy characters. And it was really cool, trying to come up and trying to look at what other games have done in the past, and almost just like the speeches, trying to come up with something original. And I look forward to getting some feedback. Probably once it'll probably be once the main game is done that we'll get good feedback on specific quests. But I wanted to focus on them a little bit today, just because the bottom right character. At the moment, he is unnamed. I have kind of a placeholder character made for him, but right now I'm doing a new Twitter raffle on my Twitter account at Gladius Writing on Twitter, and if you retweet or follow me, I'll pretty much close off the raffle probably next Monday, and you guys will actually get to give him a fitting name. Give this villain character a fitting name, which I think is kind of a cool raffle and another way to just kind of keep the community involved and show more people the game. So yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier. There's a little bit of a Doctor Doom going, but it makes sense because these guys are evil. They will be a blight on the land, and luckily, hopefully, you'll come by the Mage Tower and be able to.
Yeah, I kind of like the little design on the bottom right guy with regards to kind of the symbology, kind of crawling up the cheek, essentially. Kind of a cool little look to it with the angular line going in between, where you can kind of see where he'd be able to look out versus like what's almost like a mouthpiece.
Definitely. So we have for all of our face art, probably going back now easily 2-3 years, and I might butcher this name again. Yeah, I believe it's Choco Fox. I'm gonna Choco Jacks. Apologies, Choco Jacks, because I never got your name right the earlier time. All of our custom face art is all their design. We send them a couple little images. The face art for the last game, or for the last update, is going to be made by them. So just very talented, and I think we're very happy to have them with us because you know, it's just like we were talking about earlier. The images really help the game pop out. So it lets us, make a diverse range of characters, and I think that's really cool. So I'm just going to move on, do a little bit of showing off some images in the work. So if you guys move just to the next image. So again, this is just like last time. Obviously, for YouTube, we have to cut out a significant portion of certain things. Yeah, right. but I wanted to just show off some of the settings because obviously, in addition to the fun stuff, we want to have cool settings that really kind of set the scene up. So I had a lot of fun designing this scene. Because we are trying to, push the envelope as far as what kind of scenes we're working on. So, getting like Phoenix was talking about, scenes with multiple characters, scenes with different kinks, different focuses. That's a lot of what goes into the process of designing the scene. So I think you guys will like this a lot. There's an element in the scene that actually comes from when I played a game many years ago when I was just a kid. I will leave it in mystery exactly what this element is, but I think a lot of people will enjoy it because it is kind of a very nostalgic point. But yeah, hopefully we will be seeing this scene, which is produced by the talented Luxatile, which I believe you can find on Twitter. See, every now and then you can kind of get a glimpse of what they've been working on. Hoping that the scene will be done and written by, the November update for that. So, looking forward to working on that. So this is not a erotic scene. It's a A3 for you guys. Just a little tease. We are working on an image that will be for, certain celebration that may happen on October. There is more than just this one character involved, so I leave it to you guys to see if maybe you guys can perceive who else is in the picture, because it's definitely not who you think it is. I'll warn you that much right now, just to try to dissuade you. But I think it's just a cool little picture, just a way to kind of show our thanks for everybody who is involved in contributing to the game at Portrayal. And I think you guys will have a good time. So I don't know, any money on who the character is, the main character being featured? I think it's Minotaur.
I mean, it could be just a giant batch of tentacles. You never know.
Yep. There's body paint in Roundscape, right? I
believe it. I mean,
thing
you had
right?
those kind of old Scottish Highlanders with the woad painting, so I'd believe it.
Yeah. There you go. Oh my God, that would have been. We should have done that. That would have been so much a better picture. Like, the joke's on you. We got you guys. I don't have the artist name for this picture, but I'm sure once we get to a closer date for this celebration, that we will be showcasing the picture in its entirety. There will both be a suitable for work version.
Most
and
certainly not suitable for work version.
So you guys have that to look forward. Yes. I mean, this one's already kind of pushing it, but I don't see any naughty bits. I see kind of a little bit, but yeah.
Could still make it your
within
desktop
limits,
picture.
Hopefully. No, my desktop picture is so much random space nonsense right now. Like pictures of astronauts floating in space. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. That's so deep. We're so tiny. All right, moving on to kind of wrapping things up. Oh, I totally missed something that I wanted to talk about earlier, but I will skip that because we're already a bit into it. So, just a general announcement. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. We are getting to to use the football analogy because I'm going crazy right now with fantasy football. We are getting close to the end zone. I won't be, we don't have any sort of official lockdown on a date or anything. Or at least I won't be the one to say it because I value my sanity. But I just wanted to show off two images that may, they'll be showcasing basically some of the Endgame content basically. So we have one here, which is this awesome Orc Warrior. So And a lot of these pictures will basically they'll kind of come up depending on player choices that they have made. Rewarding and showing consequence of some of the choices that have been going on since the beginning of the game. I mean, obviously, we're not talking about like holy cow, the original Fable thing, which was like, oh, you plant a seed in the ground randomly, and you go back to that point of the game, and there's a tree now. It's like I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about there will be some choices that will play out, how
there's not going to be a
game
companion novel explaining what happens for the next 200 years, but
no, yeah, just we want to make it a good ending. We want to make it solid ending. We've often joked about the decisions we've made with some things that I haven't even told these two gentlemen. I at least think we're going to do better than a certain game that had a certain hyped ending that many people were super pissed about. And that was basically our goal. Within the limits of our group, we wanted to do better. Just with the ending, like if you just bottled up the ending, we wanted to do better than.
If it's the one I'm thinking about, then you aren't setting the bar too low.
Yeah, no, I mean, or high for that matter, but I mean, yeah. So it's actually funny because that ending is actually joked about in the show. So when I heard it, I burst out laughing. We wanted to make a solid ending. I mean, I've been working on this game alone for I think now 3 years. So coming up with an ending, it was a trial. But I think we've come up with something solid that the fans are going to enjoy. And just sort of this the last image. So this is, obviously Meredith in a skimpy, awesome outfit, which I found. Actually, I guess those are pants. there's looks like there's a fabric line.
Not necessarily a lot.
I would hope those are pants because that would probably be uncomfortable. There's fabric. So this is one of the possible pictures you will see. On how you get that picture, I won't say because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I want for the most, as much as you guys can do to play through the ending and come across these pictures as naturally. But just wanted to show them off just to kind of show you guys a little bit of what is waiting for you guys. So I think for the most part that's what we wanted to cover with this update. So thank you guys very much. Thank you. Nerza and thank you Phoenix for coming along to help me out with this newest update. So, do you guys have any final parting words, Nerza?
Nah, not really.
Anything from your end, Phoenix?
Well, just thank you to the fans, people who are reading. I've already gotten some feedback from people. I really appreciate it. It's weird to say because you're writing, erotica, you're writing porn and stuff that people in your real life might not be big fans of, but it is something that you do genuinely feel gratitude for when you get people who give you good feedback and go, wow, I really loved that scene, or I really enjoyed that little twist that you added to the story that I wasn't expecting. So, to the fans, thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm 100% in the same boat. A few people know what I am involved with. Some of them are very cool with it, and some of them not so cool. But yeah, I mean, getting the feedback from the forums, because not only does it, kind of show, okay, people enjoyed this scene or people didn't enjoy this scene, it lets us, improve our writing for follow-up scenes. I always tell people on the forums, I'm just constantly, the feedback, that's what I thrive on. So I'll be very interested, once we have the Mage Guild and once we finish the Assassin's Guild, I think it'll be very cool to kind of see how people enjoyed it, if they thought about other games, how we could, how we could improve it. So yeah, of course, shout out to all the fans who have supported us, all the way from the Offbeater supporters way back when. I don't know why that was so hard for me. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. So as always, this is Wild Quill signing off, and thank you for enjoying our newest episode of Roundscape Unscripted. Have a great day.